It's been several years in the making, and I'm very proud to bring you what I think is the most versatile overdrive I've ever had my hands on. Today we look at the Silktone OverDrive Plus, the overdrive that can do it all. What is up, YouTube? My name is Buddy Blues, and today we look at the Silktone OverDrive Plus. If I sound a little out of breath and nasal, it's because I'm very, very sick, but I would not take this opportunity, or waste this opportunity, I should say, to not show you this on time. Because these are going to sell out immediately. So pause, buy this, then listen to the review. It is no lie that the Silktone amp right there is my favorite amp of all time. I've had it for, I think it was May of last year is when I got it. And it changed everything for me. And I'm regularly getting new amps. I bought this, by the way. I'm regularly getting new amps and stuff like that. So the search keeps going, but when I want that sound, no amp does it like the Silktone amp. That's a fact. Now you should check out the video on the amp because there's a switch that says chiffon and raw silk. Raw silk has that push, has that boost thing on the amp. And I said, man, could you just imagine if you made that into an overdrive? So he did, and he did a whole lot more. What have we got? We got volume, tone, gain. We know what these do, but the volume is special here. So unity gain, or unity, level volume, is about 9 o'clock. Charles does not want you to run this at unity. You can do whatever you want. This is America, okay? You can do whatever you want. But Charles does not want you to run it this low. He wants you to push the first tube of your amp. He wants that volume to be up. Tone is tone, right is bright, left is dark. We know this. Gain is gain. Now, there's a lot of gain on it. It goes from transparent to clon to tube screamer to blues breaker to light distortion to full-on distortion to big muff on steroids fuzz. It has it all. It can do everything. This reminds me a lot, this is all analog. This reminds me a lot of the Kernam Ridge. You know, that overdrive that does everything? You could get every sound out of that, including different EQ type things, like a blues breaker and a clon are not the same EQ. A Noble's ODR1 and a clon, there's a whole different thing. This does both. Tube scream, anyway, let's not get into this. Now, bypass on and off, and here you have an extra foot switch that brings in a ton more gain. You've got a switch that says strangle and raw. Strangle, think of it as like a cocteau thing, cock, but it's not really that nasally like I am right now. And raw is just, it takes that out and it's just pure power. Asymmetrical and symmetrical switch right here. Right gives you a little bit more compressor. I never really liked that setting on any overdrive. It just feels like the guitar is behind. I like the guitar to hit me in the face, but we're gonna play it, of course. And you have a bass cut. Enough talking, ladies and gentlemen, because the more I waste time talking to you, telling you how lovely Charles is, and I met him and we had lovely times and we had a few beers too many and all of that. And now both of us are sick. As much as it's cool to tell you all these stories, if I keep talking, these are gonna sell out. This is not a joke. We did this video and these sold out. So here's the deal. Buy one, because you're never gonna get an overdrive like it. Ever. Okay, let's hear this thing. I'm going to play my red LSL. It's got single coils, it's got a humbucker, it sounds amazing. We're gonna go through the Silktone Amp. It would be kind of weird if I told you. We're gonna go through the Friedman. No, we're gonna go, oh God. We're gonna go through the Silktone Amp and we're going to enjoy the heck out of this overdrive. Let's get to it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have now heard the Silktone OverDrive Plus. Is this your favorite overdrive yet or not yet? No, because you haven't gotten it yet. Get it, get it, get it. Trust. It does it all. It does it all. We went from clon to blues breaker to ODR. It does all the flavors. And then if you dime the gain, plus, I mean, it's very loud. It's very loud. I like my overdrives at unity volume. So when I turn it on, it's just perhaps a small bump in volume. I don't like the destruction like Charles tells us. But once you buy this pedal from Charles, it's no longer Charles's pedal. It's your pedal. And you can do with it whatever the f you please. So although Charles is a genius, you don't have to listen to him. You can play this however the heck you want. I prefer mine a little bit at unity, maybe a little bit more, but it does. I understand what he means by if you push the volume and if you push the gain, you're throwing your amp into the fires of the depth of Moria. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this was your first Small Business Tuesday, what we do is we like to give small businesses a voice, because the really, really big businesses have an entire marketing campaign, and we would like to be their marketing campaign here, because no one's making cool stuff like this, man. No one's making cool stuff like this. There's a lot of big companies that make very cool stuff, and I demo them and I review them and all that. But man, do you know, I know because I spoke to him. Do you know how much time went into this and research and development and rejects? And he was sending me prototypes early last year of rejects. I'm trying this, I'm trying that, I'm trying this, I'm gonna add this. There's a lot of passion in what Charles does. You can always see, anytime you talk to Charles, and you should on Instagram, by the way, he's lovely, always answers. But he's not like the other brands. Anyway, he always answers, and it's lovely to talk to him because he's so passionate. He knows so much about that stuff that even I, a schmuck, end up learning. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing if you like this video. If you didn't like this video, please type Charles an email and tell him to never book me again for a demo ever again. I have been Buddy Blues. You have been the people of the blues. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.